Video is about the physician inbox. The physician inbox is basically the same as an inbox for paper on a desk, except for it's filed on the computer. Now, when a physician logs in, they will automatically have their physician inbox open up, and it can also be opened under the data menu for inbox physician. Now you can see here that it has different tabs. So we first have the lab tab, then the reports, then letters, encounters, tasks, recalls, and messages. So I'll go over them one by one. First off, for the lab, when you click your review window, you get all of your labs. So you would start at your first lab, if everything looks okay, review, post, and next. By reviewing and posting, it is pretty much the same as signing a piece of paper stating that you've seen it. So review, post, and next. For example, if I wanted to leave this lab here to deal with later, I would not hit review, post, and next, because as doing that, it removes it from my box. I would hit the first arrow pointing to the right. That would not review the lab, but leave it there. Now, if I needed a patient to come back, I can check box recall. And I could say I need the patient to come back in 2 weeks for lab results. And it will automatically put them on the recall list and flag it as to discuss. So when you're looking at the labs in the chart, you realize that you wanted to discuss it. Now, I no longer need this in my box because I've dealt with it. Review, post, and next. Review, post, and next. Review, post, and next. Review, post, and next. I might want to save this one, so I'll click on the next record. This one, I might want the patient called to let them know that their results are fine. If that's the case, I do not want to recall them because they do not want to come back in. What I can do is I can go to Actions, and I can go to a new task or a new message, and I can ask somebody to say results. Okay, please call patient and let them know. And I'm going to assign this to administrator, and I will save. Now I'm done with them. I can review, post, and next. Now, also under the Actions button, I might see this result. I might want to go and see the last encounter note that I wrote on this patient, and I can come in here and see that. I may also want to go to their chart and see anything. I might also want to graph. I can graph the lab, so I can say I want to see all of the calciums. Now there's just one in here, and I can clear the graph and start over. Or I can pick another one, and it'll graph it over top of it. And review, post, and next, and I am done. Now I can go, you might have some results that have a lot of information in them, so I can use this find test and go to specifically the one I'm looking for. Now this is a bad example as there is only one result. I can also click on history or medications to see what current medications they're on. Review, post, and next. And now I can see that this is my last one, review, post, and next, and I'm done. So this will update. So if I was to go out of my box and come back into my inbox, I can see that there's only 2 left, and those are the ones that I asked to be left. Going to reports. Reports are, if you're in the Edmonton area, they can also be electronically downloaded, and scans. So again, I would hit my review window, and we can see here that this is all of the scans. Now I can go through them all the same as the labs. By double clicking on the first one, I can review and next, review and next. I've got my arrow. I can go to messaging, and I can do a new task or a new message. I can recall the patient, and again, I've got chart info here, so I can see the last encounter, open the chart, see the meds, etc. Now, when you're electronic, everything gets scanned into the chart. So there might be some new information that you need to see, and other information that the physician actually does not need to look at. Regardless, it's still going into the box. What you can do though is what I like to refer to as priority scanning. From the image browser, when scans are being imported, everything is defaulted to priority 2, which is normal. If you hit urgent, it will make it priority 1, and it will also send the physician a task stating that they have a urgent DI. Now this is something you don't want to accidentally click on because they'll get a task for every report. And there's also low, which is priority 3. So default is normal, which is 2. If you are scanning in something that the physician does not need to see, like an old chart, etc., you can change the priority to 3, low. So when it goes into priority 3. When doing this, though, you want to make sure that you switch it back, because it will not automatically go back to normal. It has to manually go back. But the point of that is now when the physician is reviewing their inbox, they can sort by priority, and it'll put all the priority 3s, which are low and they don't need to see. And using their shift key, they can highlight all the priority 3s and go mark reviewed. So now they're only left with the ones that they actually have to look at. And then they would start and go review and next, recall, etc. And done. And then we're moving on to our letters. Every letter written in the system is automatically gone to the physician's inbox. It's not a bad idea to put a title because, again, the physician might not want to look at any of the appointment letters. So they can go through or they might, if you don't want to look at any letters, you can just highlight a bunch of them and go set reviewed. But I cannot because I'm not the physician. The physician has to do that. And again, I can go from letter to letter and I can go reviewed is equal to yes. Again, I cannot review because I'm not the physician. Then we're moving on to encounters. Encounters that show up in your box are all encounters that are unreviewed. So you can, as we saw in the users video, you can default it so each user's encounter is automatically set to incomplete. So the physician can review their encounters at the end of the day. Again, we always start with the review window, and I can come in here, double click on my first one, review it, make sure it's billed, everything I need to do, uncheck incomplete, and I can either save and it'll take me back to the main page, or I can do it more quickly using this arrow, incomplete, and then I would save my last one. Now they're both marked as complete and will eventually clear out of my box. Now tasks, again, you want to hit your review window and you get your normal task screen. From here you can go assigned by me and incomplete, see what's done, see what's not done, etc. Recalls, you can see any recalls that an appointment has not been made for yet. And this is the recall we just made on the lab screen. So you can come in here and make sure that you've got, like, your recalls are being done. And messages. You get your message box. It works the same way as the tasks, just brings up your message box. And from here you can go directly to the schedule, back to your physician inbox, and when we hit done and we go back in, it will be all refreshed. So I only have 6 reports left, didn't review any letters because I'm not the physician, and no encounters left.